For 2013, Kawasaki made a number of changes to its latest KX250F. So many, in fact, we don't have the time to mention them all here, but we'll hit upon what we feel are some of the main highlights, like the KX's new chassis. To improve ergonomics and enhance rider control, the frame is now 4 mm narrower across the main spars, and the radiator shrouds are also significantly smaller and slimmer where they contact the rider's legs. The side covers are smaller and the airbox has smoother lines. And the seat is much flatter in design, making it easier to move around on. It's also fitted with new hand grips, replacing the much disliked grips of the past. The new grips are also 20 mm closer to the center line of the bars for a more compact riding position. And you'll be happy to know that they are no longer cemented to the handlebars, making grip replacement far easier. Kawasaki also made some changes to the motor to give it more power across the board. The intake ports have been widened and the intake track has a straighter shot for more direct and efficient airflow from the airbox to the combustion chamber. Compression ratio has also been bumped up a bit, and there's a new exhaust system which features a 30 mm shorter header pipe and now incorporates a resonator chamber to help improve bottom end performance and reduce noise. The muffler is new too. It's 30 mm shorter and has a 12 mm larger cross section to better centralize mass while still meeting sound requirements. Like the KX450F, the 250 now comes with 3 pre-programmed ignition maps for its digital fuel injection system. Maps can quickly be changed between 3 settings, standard, hard, and soft, by swapping the DFI wire coupler cap that's clipped to the inside of the steering head. The suspension has also been upgraded too. The show a separate function fork has larger 48 mm inner fork tubes, which allow for larger internal components for improved damping and fork action. And to go along with the new forks, the shock has new settings as well. The front brake has also been modified. It has a new pushrod type master cylinder, and the brake pads have a different material for higher friction for better stopping power. The front number plate is also new. It's smaller and it has a different design. The front fender is new as well. And to keep the KX looking newer, longer, the clutch cover is no longer painted black, and it has a new embossed design to keep boot wear from looking so obvious. Kawasaki recently introduced the 2013 KX250F to the media at Spring Creek Motocross Park in Millville, Minnesota, where we get a chance to put 2 full days of riding on the KX. After logging more than about 8 hours on the 2013 KX250F, what stood out the most with our test drivers was the Kawasaki's aggressive motor. It has strong bottom end, a meaty mid-range, and it pulls very hard on top. If you leave it a gear a little too long, no worries, it won't fall on its face. Even our heavier test rider had no problems pulling second gear starts or pulling third gear out of some of the corners. We also liked the new softer grips, but, well, let's just say that we're glad that they're easy to replace now. Suspension is outstanding, both front and rear, and it's a very stable handling machine. The KX turns well, but we felt it could be a little bit better. To eliminate a somewhat pushing feeling up front, we played with the fork tube placements and the triple clamps, with the dampening, the preload, and the ride height. In the end, we found a setup that we were pretty happy with. We ended up with the forks in the standard position in the clamps. We did reduce preload a little bit and added 2 clicks of compression, and we also tightened up the headset a bit. We also raised the rear end sag by a couple millimeters, from the standard 105 millimeters to 102 millimeters. That just gave the bike a little quicker feeling when we were going into the turns, and it seemed to stay in the ruts a little bit better. We also tested the KX off-road, because many of you will be hitting the trails on this bike, including us. We tested the KX on many of the single track trails around the course, the same trails that are used in OMA races. And we found that the KX works remarkably well in the tight stuff. We were impressed with the KX torquey motor. It pulled well off the bottom and it never stalled, despite having plenty of opportunities. The KX stayed in the ruts and the corners and popped right over the roots and logs without any thought. But again, the torquey motor and overall smooth power really impressed us on the trail. The KX is pretty easy to ride. Overall, we left Spring Creek very impressed with the new KX, praising its well-rounded and strong motor, excellent suspension, and trimmer layout. So check out a future issue of Cycle News for more on the 2013 Kawasaki KX250F.